Welcome to the Human Resource Forum. In this forum, we would like to discuss about topic disciplinary and termination service. This forum will going on with two sessions, which is session one, we will discuss topic about disciplinary, and then the second session, we will discuss about termination service. The second session will conducted by Mr. Aiman. Okay, before we start with the first session, let me introduce our panel. First is Miss Nina as a representative from Quality Control Department at Inta Biotech Holdings. The second panel is Dato Aisyah as a Chief Executive Officer at Inta Bina Group Berhad. And the third panel is Tan Sridi as a Chief Operating Officer at Apollo Food Holdings Berhad. And the last one is Madam Z as a representative for Administration Department at Bina Puri Holdings Berhad. Assalamualaikum and good evening. Our topic that we have to discuss today is about discipline. As we know, every employer needs a disciplinary system. While the majority of employees work hard, follow the rules, and generally give value for money, there will always be a few who cause trouble. Miss Nina, you as a representative from Quality Control Department at Inta Biotech Holdings, can you tell me what the meaning of HR in discipline aspect?
Okay, thank you to the moderator. Assalamualaikum and good morning to all of you. Okay, according to the question given, as we know that every organization have a disciplinary system. Discipline is the regulation and modulation of human activities to produce a controlled performance. The real purpose of discipline is quite simple actually. It is to encourage employees to conform to established standards of job performance and to behave sensibly and safely at work. Discipline is essential to all organized group action. Discipline is employee learning that promotes self-control, dedication, and orderly conduct. In relation to employees in the US, discipline is generally used in a restrict sense to mean punishment. Consequently, the written procedures used to punish employees for job deficiencies are called disciplinary procedures. Punishment is the process of either administering an unpleasant stimulus, such as a warning letter or a suspension, or withholding a reward, such as not granting a scheduled pay increase because of an employee's job deficiencies. Punishment is only one form of discipline. Other forms are positive reinforcement, including commendation and praise, and human resource development. Okay, just that from me. Thank you.
Okay, thank you to Miss Nina for your opinion. For me, every CEO of company need to know about disciplinary system in their organization. This is because this thing is very important because this can help to further improve employee performance. Okay, next, the issue that always arise in any company is that there are still many employees who come late. Okay, Dato Aisyah, based on this issue, the problem of employee absent is not a new issue, but over time this issue is growing, and based on your experience as a CEO at Inta Group Berhad, how do you deal with trouble employees in the organization?
Thanks to the moderator, Miss Nurathirah, for the question. Assalamualaikum and greetings to all the audience. Thank you for taking the time to attend and participate in our forum on this glorious morning. Okay, back on the question. I have had such a problem, and at first it's hurt when I see there are employees who have a problem in the organization. These travel employees often absent, lateness, taking extended lunch break, and not being at the required workstation are all from absent that can put pressure on the organization. Dealing with the troubled employees is not easy thing to do. However, it should be curbed as soon as possible by the responsible party. And this is because it can make the organization itself lose employees who are to their job because they are tired of dealing with employees who often give them problem. In case 2017, the chief secretary to the government also raised this issue, which is Tan Sri Dr. Ali Hamzah, expressed regret over the complaint that there are medical practitioners in government hospital who had to be fired due to absence from work for a long period of the time. As a leader, I want to change in employees who are not disciplined and not committed to work. There are some of the ways I and you can take to overcome the problem of absenteeism of employees. Okay, there is talk and face-to-face with the employees. Have face-to-face discussion with the individual and find the cause that cause the individual do things they should not do, especially skipping work and performing tasks casually without feeling responsible as an employee in organization. What is the main thing or the main problem that makes them make the mistake? And then give the penalties for absence. The law also provides certain remedies to an employer who is plagued by the problem of worker absenting themselves from work without leave. If a worker is absent for more than 2 consecutive working days without leave from the employer, he is deemed to have broken his contract of employment unless he has a reasonable excuse for the absent and he has informed or attempt to inform the employer of such excuse. Investigation must be carried out to find out why the worker were absent. If the worker returns to work after a period of absence, he should be called to an inquiry or asked to show cause why disciplinary action should not be taken against him. In case where the worker simply disappear or abscond, it will be the proper to send a letter to the employer failed to reply within the time limit stated in the letter. Only then can it can be considered that he has breached the term of his contract. And the last is, I would suggest to create an employee remuneration system to encourage full attendance. The organization should implement or reward employees who serve with excellence according to the ability of the organization itself, such as giving the bonus and or vacation package to employees holiday are solely relevant according to categories such as the arrival of the excellent employee service, and so on. Okay, that's all my opinion. Okay, back to Miss Nurathirah. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for the opinion. The absenteeism has a major negative impact on productivity and should be controlled with zero tolerance policies on absence without leave. Clear producers and applying for leave and incentives to encourage full attendance. Okay, considering that there are also many issues that we have heard about many other employees who do not know about disciplinary characteristics, which should be present in a responsible employee. Okay, thanks, Ridi. What are the disciplinary characteristics that an employee needs to have in order for us to take him or her to work in our company?
Okay. Thanks to moderator Miss Athirah. Distinguished audience and panel member, well, this is an interesting question about disciplinary characteristics. Okay, when we talk about disciplinary characteristics, this is not something that you have or that you do not have, nor is something you are born with. Okay. If you are not disciplined yourself, regardless of how well you prepare and set goal, this is in vain. Okay, the most valuable quality for performance and discipline and concentration. Okay, in case 2018, an article from Star Online say that disciplinary action from tending the workplace. So from this article, we can conclude that the most employees do not give their responsibility by applying a disciplined attitude in themselves. Okay, the keyword rule of disciplinary is training, control, and conduct. Okay, from the viewpoint, we can apply 3 effective discipline characteristics. Okay, for the first one is discipline is ability to stay focused and on course. When discipline is missing, then there will be the tendency to drift in all directions and thus to leave unfinished tasks. Therefore, we need to focus and need to consistent with the assist task. Also, focus on tasks at one time until the task is complete and need to be complete on the time. For the second characteristic is discipline is the determination to keep going when this is tough. Okay, there will be the more successful individual if the success is easy, but because it is difficult, many will go when the path is difficult. Okay, willingness to move regardless of concentration is discipline, and this is resulting lose occur. Disciplined individuals still do not avoid it, they just find another way to solve the problem. Okay, for the last is discipline is being on time. I made a commitment to myself always to show up on the time. When you are a punctual person, then everything going smooth. But when waiting to people who are always late, it will make waste time. Okay, maybe they think that this is not a problem, but they are wrong. This is make us not to deal with the individual again. Okay. So, one of the hallmark of a disciplinary characteristic. Okay, for the conclusion, when you apply discipline in yourself, and that it will automatically become a subconscious when you do something. Then when you choose to being disciplined and focus to each task, you have chosen a stronger strategy for successful. So that's all from me. Thank you.
Okay, thank you to Tan Sridi. I strongly agree with your opinion, Tan Sridi. For me, every employer needs a good disciplinary. These things can help to, the company to produce a very high quality output. Okay. Talking about discipline, there are so many theories that we already know. Which ones we should follow to ensure the employee in a company more motivated. Okay, Madam Z, you as a administration department at Bina Puri Holdings Berhad, what ways that can help your employees to be more disciplined?
Okay, thank you to moderators. That was a good question. When we are talking about discipline, there is a case on 2 March 2020 that involving 8 firefighters fired last year due to disciplinary issues. They were fired for offences related to drug abuse, absenteeism, forgetting of document, and being late for work. There are many ways to make someone to be more disciplined, but the way I have chosen to help my employee to be more disciplined is improving their self-discipline. Self-discipline is valuable asset to team members or among employees because that attitude will positively influence the whole team. Ways that will improving my employee's self-discipline is I want my employee to make a fresh start for whose focus has been drifting, who struggle to turn up on time, keep missing deadline, I will have a little talk with them and say to them that things are going to change starting tomorrow morning, because I believe that they that that they can change. It will give them a spirit to start a new start. Then good words maybe will change them to be more disciplined, or and sometimes the word from supervisor will hit different. Second, I will set a safety net. It's about good willpower. Good willpower is a quiet distance for good attention, because willpower requires action. So if I want to help my employees, I have to do something that will help them. I will help my employees to identify specific choice for their behavior, to change their behavior when temptation is rise. For example, if they're frequently late from oversleeping, maybe I will suggest instead to using phone for set alarm. It will better to use an alarm clock. Another way that I will help my employees to improve their self-discipline is put the temptation out of sight. There are so many constipation, unwanted distraction from their desk. The biggest distraction is their phone. So I maybe will advise them to leave their phone in pocket, desk drawer, or locker, because I'm on my way to help them to discipline themselves. So I have always advised them as many as I can. In conclusion, workplace also can be learning platform for employee to learn discipline themselves, because the disciplined employee will present a good work and will help company to be more successful.
Okay. Thank you to Madam Z. Okay, next. I think I will pass the second moderator, Mr. Aiman, to discuss more service.
Thank you to Miss Athirah. So, alright, welcome to the second session. As mentioned just now, this session is about termination. Before we start to the forum, I would like to introduce to our panel. First, we have Miss Sabrina, guest from Mega Holdings Berhad. Second, we have Dr. Malik, Officer of Ministry of Human Resource. And the third panel, we have Mr. Hasif, Director of the Labour Department. The fourth one, we have Miss Tulashini, Director of Training and Development Service Berjaya Holding. Sorry. Okay, we will start with our first panel, Miss Sabrina. I want to ask to you, in this current situation of COVID-19, what the main reason of the company terminate the employees? And does it have any procedure?
Thank you to Mr. Aiman. The main reason for company terminate the employees, and does it have any procedure? The coronavirus COVID-19 pandemic is the defining global health crisis of our time and the greatest challenge we have faced now. Many people suffer during COVID-19 pandemic, and the main reason for the company terminate the employees is company make no profit during COVID-19. When the company don't have any income or profit, the company is unable to pay the salaries to the employees. Then the company had to lay off some employees in order to save the company from scope. And actually, my company also doing some retrenchment during the MCO. So there is some procedures for retrenchment. Number one is consult the union and inform the workforce. Number two, choose whom to retrench. Number three, inform the labor department. And number four, provide outplacement services. And the last one, number five, is provide retrenchment benefits. So that's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you to Miss Sabrina for the good reason and a good way to terminate it. So we go to the next panel. I want to ask Mr. Hasif, Director of the Labour Department, what the company can give the employees to preserve right. Does human resource include in this process, Mr. Hasif?
Thank you to our moderator. Based on the question given, if the employee has been terminated suddenly, then they can claim their rights according to the Employment Act 1955. But if the employee is terminated due to pension, then they have no rights to claim this compensation. First, they are entitled to claim notice replacement salary. For those who are terminated without notice of termination of service, they are entitled to claim payment of replacement salary notice, and the salary must be paid no later than the last day of service. The second is the benefit of termination of employment. Payment of termination benefits must be made in accordance with the stipulation in the service contract, but must not be less than the minimum set Amendment Act 1955. Next, interest must also be paid no later than 7 days after the employee is terminated. Employees also have the right to get written details and calculation made to find out the amount of benefit. Finally, the employee is also entitled to claim the replacement of the annual leave balance. Every employee is given annual leave. If employee off for a short time and still has the unused annual leave balance, then the employee has the right to claim in the form of salary. For everyone's knowledge, human resource is also involved in this matter. That's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you to Mr. Hasif. That a good way to preserve right the employees, right? I think that a good way. To Dr. Malik, our third panel, I want to ask, does Malaysia government have any law for preserve right the employees in the company? May we ask know about it?
Okay, thank you, moderator. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh. Good morning to all of you. Okay, according to the question that given by moderator, my answer is yes. Of course, in Malaysia, we have a law to protect the right of employee. No employer can oppress their workers. It is because in Malaysia, our workers will protected by Employment Act 1995. The workers can implement this act if they was terminated from the company without any reason, any notice, or they terminate by unofficial flow of termination. Because before termination, the employer must follow the procedure like Miss Sabrina say before this. I give you example. Due to COVID-19 situation, many companies were shut down, bankrupt, and some of them also reduced the workforce because they cannot earn any profit during the MCO. And as your information, according to the Social Security Organization, SOCSO, nearly 9,000 jobless has been reported so far in this year. This number is represent decrease of 2,078% compared with 2019. If this trend is continue, the lost employment case estimate to be more than by end of the year 2020. This number is quite a big. So by this Employment Act 1995, it can prevent employer from continue to lay off the workers without following the right procedure. If we don't have this kind of act, maybe the numbers it become more biggest. So I want to highlight here, don't worry if you are employee or if you are workers in this country, whether you are in public or private sector, you will protected and you can use the Employment Act 1955. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you to Dr. Malik. Government have a good way to protect the employees, right? I see the government handle their responsibility in a good way. So we go to our last but not least, the fourth panelist for today, Miss Tulashini, Director of Training and Development Service Berjaya Holding. I want to ask to you, Miss Tulashini, on behalf of the employee, it's not fair decision to make them quit their job, right? Do Malaysia have any ways for helping them in this COVID-19 situation? Ms. Tulashini?
Thank you for the question, moderator. Okay, regarding the question, my answer is yes. Malaysia government have many ways to help who lost their job in COVID-19 pandemic. First, Malaysia government can reduce the number of foreigner workers as security guard with the use of CCTV that can be controlled by Malaysian citizen cards. This is because, as we know, before COVID-19, Malaysia have lot of foreigner workers in every industry, more than Malaysian citizens. So, in this time, Malaysia government decided to help Malaysian citizens first who lost their job in COVID-19 to support their family. The use of the technology in commodity and plantation industry can reduce the number of the foreigner workers. Second, government create an effective job. Effective job creating means operating base skill and low paying jobs with add value with higher productive but from the policy creative job in new industry. Malaysia government also had in low skill job, especially 3D. 3D means a dirty, dangerous and difficult. This use for technology automation needs to be incentive. It means automation to true meaning of the job using new method in pandemic time. Last but not least, government give the policy is given less specific focus as the human resources management has allowed employees to hire foreigner workers who have been laid off in the job, are not filled by locals. Okay, I think I answered the question, moderator. That's all from me. Thank you, and I hope you all stay safe at home. Thank you.
Thank you to Ms. Tulashini. I see we have a good government in Malaysia, right? So I will thank to all panel because you are the wonderful people to support or perform for this event. On my behalf, all of you taking time out of your busy personnel and profession schedule mean the world to me. I hope everyone can take a good lesson and a new knowledge about this forum. Till we meet again, Assalamualaikum and thank you to everyone and the audience. Bye.